Hello, dear. It's Heather, and you're watching Save Today with Heather J. I am somebody who has spent her entire adult life living paycheck to paycheck and being one life event away from financial crisis. And I currently am in the middle of about 3 life events that are causing some financial struggles for me. And so I'm currently working through all of those, and I'm almost kind of at the end of what that pinch point is going to be. And we will discuss those in some of my other videos as we get to the end of the month and close things out, what some of those were and what the impact has been. But today's video is going to be my week 3 spending check-in. When I do these spending check-ins, I'm just paying attention to my flexible spending and tracking that to make sure I don't overspend and then harm myself in other areas like actual bills. So for these check-ins, I'm checking in my groceries, dining out, transportation, which for me is gas and buses, art, and miscellaneous. And this week, because of those life events that are going on, there has not been very much money to play with. So there's going to be very little spending to go over on this week's video. So hopefully I can keep this short and not talk too much. So let's just get right into this video. For me, week 3 in July is July 14th to July 20th, which is the Friday to the following Thursday. The very first spending I had in that category is on the 15th. In the groceries category, I went to Kroger's and I spent $65.02. On the 17th, again in the groceries category at Kroger's, I spent $33.87. And this transaction, I got $10 cash back so that it could be for my laundry and gas. And then I ended up giving that cash back somewhere else and not actually spending it on my laundry and my bus trips. So this was only $23.87 in groceries and then $10 back. And then on the 17th, I actually wrote the miscellaneous category. I'll have to wipe that out and correct that. This is in the art category. I went to Joann's Fabrics and I spent $4.64. And I did discuss this in one of my previous videos. I had to get some flannel backing for the stocking I'm working on for this month's project. And I got some ruffled quilt binding that I made the Zero Dog with that's going on this month's stocking. So I spent $4.64. The flannel I bought a half a yard of and it was on sale for 30% off. And the ruffled binding I bought a third of a yard of and I was able to use a 40% off coupon. So I saved quite a bit. I only spent $4.64 on that, and I'm okay with having spent only $4.64. I have mentioned several times over June and July that things are incredibly tight right now. Did I have that $4.64 to spend? Probably not. Does that $4.64 have a great impact on any of the other things? No. I'm not missing that $4.64 in my transportation. I'm not missing that in my groceries. That's not having an impact on whether or not those bills and those life events are getting paid or not. And it did have a huge impact on the project I was working on and whether I could move forward on that. I get to justify that for myself, and I'm okay with what I spent. I did give myself $0 in my art budget. But I knew when I wrote that budget that there might be something that came up. I just needed to put $0 in there to just be aware of exactly, to just let myself know it was going to have an impact and to make sure I was really certain when I made any of these purchases. On the 20th, which was Thursday, also in the groceries category, I went to Walmart and I spent $24.35. Now, I've mentioned several times that I don't like Walmart and I would rather carve my eyeball out with a spoon than shop at Walmart most times. I initially went to Kroger. I don't know what was going on, but the stores were shut. Lights were flashing inside the store. The employees were waving people away. I don't know if they had a power outage or something. I mean, there weren't sirens. It wasn't like there was a robbery or something. I don't know what was going on, but they didn't let me go into Kroger. So I had to go to Walmart, and I just needed to get a gallon of milk, and I needed to get cash back so I could do my laundry because I didn't do it with the first cash back I got. And at Walmart, you can only get cash back in increments of 20. I did not have the option of just getting $10 or just getting $6 or just getting only what I needed. I had to get $20 cash back. And so that's what I did. And then I took my milk home and I took my $20 and I went to the laundromat in the middle of the night and I did laundry at the laundromat with my $20 cash back. I got $20 in quarters, but I only needed like 5. And then in the transportation for this week, I did not actually fill up the gas at all this week. I just have my 4 trips to work on the bus. So that was Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Those 4 days I had to take the bus to work at $1 each way. So my transportation is $4 for this week. And then that is it for this week's spending. I do choose to cover this other side just to kind of reduce the busyness that's going on here. So now that we've done this, we're going to go over and the spending overview and see where that leaves me for my estimates for the entirety of the month. So in my groceries category this week with those 3 transactions, I spent $123.24, and again, $30 of that was cash back for laundry and bus trips. So I estimated in my budget that I was going to be spending $110 a week in groceries for a total of $440 for the month. And this is my 3rd week in that 4-week month. And so at this point, I am left with a balance of $104.46 in my groceries category to carry me through that last week. In dining out, I did not spend anything this week. That was very hard for me this week. There wasn't any money to give to it. Like literally there was not dollars in the account to go to anywhere. But I really wanted to go get something to eat for dinner. Like last night, I wanted to go to, one of my coworkers mentioned Texas Roadhouse. And man, oh man, did I want to go to Texas Roadhouse. And for about 4 hours, all I could think about was how much I wanted to go out to eat for dinner. That was challenging for me, but I got through it. I didn't spend any money. And because of spending I had done in week 1 and 2, I do have a negative $30.71 balance in my dining out category. In my transportation, I had spent the $4. I had estimated I was going to spend $160 this month on transportation. And when I did that estimate, I was assuming 1 fill up in the gas tank per week at $3.79 a gallon at 10 gallons. And then my bus trips. I did not need to fill up the tank yet this week, so I still have $100.49 in my estimated budget for gasoline for transportation because it's more than just gas at the store for me. In my art category, I did again have that 1 transaction for the $4.64. I estimated $0 in this month's budget for that because I knew there wasn't any extra flexible spending, and that was going to come at a cost in other areas. So that's the only spending I've done in the art category so far this week, and that does leave me at negative $4.64 in this category. And then I have miscellaneous. I did not spend anything in miscellaneous category this week, but I had made 1 transaction in weeks prior to this, so I am at negative $3.94 in that category. Again, when I set up July's budget, I gave myself 0 for dining out, 0 for art, and 0 for miscellaneous. And when I set that up for 0, I knew I was likely going to end up in the red in those categories. But by doing that, I was able to significantly reduce my spending in those three categories and only be spending it for absolute things that I absolutely knew was necessary in my own justifications. So my total spend for this week was $131.88. And based on my estimates I set up for the 4 weeks, I do still have $165.66 left for my flexible spending for that last final week. So I think I'm doing pretty good. I have definitely reduced and minimized in all of the ways that I can. This week in particular has really stressed for me that I absolutely have to add more money in my flexible spending budget for groceries. There is no way that I can survive at $110 a week. Things just cost way too much. I have to add to that. I have to find a way to bring more money into my grocery budget, which likely means I'm not going to get some of my debts paid down as quickly as I was hoping I would. So that is where I'm at for week 3's flexible spending. Super duper short and sweet, not a whole lot to spend, not a whole lot to talk about, just groceries, just eating and getting to work, That's all there was this pay period. I do want to very quickly go over again the project I'm working on. For those who are new here, I needed to bring some joy and positivity into my channel because I don't find joy and encouragement in my budget. At this point, my budget is very tight and very discouraging. And having to address it over and over and over again is not something that I find particularly exciting and something to look forward to. I'm just not at that mindset at this point in time. So I needed to bring something in order to hold myself accountable and keep myself doing this, not just week after week, but then month after month and potentially year after year. I needed something to look forward to. So I chose to bring my crafting and my personality into this. This month I'm working on a Christmas in July project, which is a Christmas stocking I'm working on for my son, and I've been working on it quite literally for years. I'm almost done, and that's good because July is almost over. I did want to show you, for those of you who had not yet seen, this was the Zero dog that I had to go get that ruffled fabric for, and that's on and attached and doing very well. And I did start to get my Jack Skellington stitched onto the stocking, and I did get his little foot kind of coming out of that flames the way I wanted to. However, when I stitched it down, my angle is off a little bit. He does need to be kind of coming more to this side. His head needs to end up over here. This angle isn't going to give me enough space really to get his leg up on that hill. See how that's not working out for me? And then when this stocking is hanging from this corner piece here, he's going to be kind of tilted to the side when it's hanging up. It looks kind of silly laid down flat to have him going kind of corner to corner, but when this is hanging from its corner here, it's going to look very well. So basically, I have to undo everything I've done to get this leg attached, and he's only attached here by this leg up to about here in the hip and up to about there in the leg. So I do have to undo that stitching, kind of shift him a little bit over, maybe by 1/4 of an inch, and then restitch him. I'm kind of disappointed because I was very pleased with how I was able to get this curve kind of tucked in there. And that was a little bit of manipulation and work, and I'm not sure I'm worried that this isn't going to look as nice when I redo this bottom portion here. But whatever, that's where I'm at. That's the next step. But tonight I'm going to have to undo the leg and start restitching it. So that is where we're at with that. And that, my friends, is the end of today's video. I want to thank you for joining me on this short little video. And I will see you probably on Monday. We'll see. I don't think I will be doing anything over the weekend. I've got work and other things going on, and I don't like to do filming when there are other people in my house. So that's where we're at today. I'm all done. I thank you again for joining me, and wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, please have fun today. Bye-bye now.